So welcome to our World Cup preview for Group D. And this group consists of Uruguay, Costa Rica, England and Italy.
Alright, so let's go through each team and analyze their chances. So starting off with Uruguay. Now this is their 12th World Cup and they've won it twice in the past.
Smallest nation ever to win the cup. It's amazing. A country without not even formally people in it. So.
And they've got a wonderful history in the World Cup. Just amazing what a country with such a small population can do. It really boggles the mind. So for the 4th consecutive time, Uruguay finished 5th in the qualifying campaign.
I love that playoff.
They love playing off. And this time they made it through a playoff for the 3rd time in four editions. So, what do you think of the chances in this World Cup?
Well, they've got two of the best strikers in Europe in the same team, Cavani and Suarez. They've got the Golden Ball winner from the last World Cup in there as well, in Diego Forlan. He isn't as prominent, but certainly can come off the bench. He can provide insights. He can provide experience to the squad. So certainly a very strong attack. Defense, I'm not so sure. Remember, this time there was no Brazil in South American qualifying, and then for them to finish 5th again, it shows that they're one step below the last two qualifying. So,
The other thing as well is that just in the last couple of days, Suarez has had an operation on his knee, and they're saying that he'll be back, ready to start the tournament, but it's only less than 3 weeks away. So, unfortunately, I expect that Suarez won't be in top form. So that's gonna be a big blow for Uruguay.
Well, he's in the form of his life, so if you count that, it's still pretty good. If he's not in form, it's still better than most other players. So.
Yeah, and the other thing as well, Uruguay. Apart from Suarez, apart from Cavani, it's a team which is full of players with playing in top European teams and top European leagues. You got Diego Lugano, you got Diego Godin, who played in Atletico Madrid team this season.
They've had an amazing season as
amazing season.
So
it's a team who's got a lot of experience, a lot of talent, and is ready for his high pressure situations.
Yeah, but there's a question mark on that defense. They're still marshaled by Lugano, have been for a long time. They're still it's quite a veteran defense. And like I said, it shouldn't have been, as a team with this much firepower should not finish 5th in South American qualifying when you see the other teams that made it. So certainly that means they're leaking too many goals, and that's something that needs to be looked at.
For sure, I totally agree. Alright, let's move on to the next team, Costa Rica, 4th World Cup. Reached 2nd round in 1990, which is the first appearance, but since then they've been eliminated in group stage.
While we're talking about qualifying, Costa Rica, lots of respect for finishing 2nd, stopping the duopoly of the United States and Mexico. Only conceded 5 goals in the Hex, they call it.
Wow, that's 10 games?
10, so the Hex, 5,
10 games, that's pretty good.
So a goal every 2 games. So that was good, but for what that's worth, they're in a big trouble in this group. You're up against 3, 4 more champions. World Cups
looking at the team sheet, at the squad, their best players are 2 of the strikers. You got Brian Ruiz and you got Joel Campbell, but they lack quality midfield. Like the midfielders are not high quality, so these strikers won't be getting the service they need to actually score the goals which they need. And that's the biggest concern for Costa Rica, and also the fact that they're in a tough group.
Yeah, of course. And in the last edition, not the last edition, the last time they were there, and they had a tough group: Germany, Ecuador, Poland, or not even as tough as this, and they lost all 3 games. Conceded lots of goals. So I don't know if they're up for these big teams traditionally, and then they conceded 5 against Brazil in the World Cup before. So they're certainly
whipping boys.
They certainly have that reputation as well. So it's not looking good for them, but
let's move on.
Some young talent there. So who knows if they can get a point.
We'll see. Moving on to the next team, which is England.
Yeah.
England are entering the 14th World Cup.
And probably the first time that there hasn't been a media circus. Well, there always will be, but it's like much less this time.
There's no hype around this team.
Yeah.
There's no one expecting much.
Less expectations.
But
I will say this, fine if it's like they've stalled, but because their team isn't as good as the Golden Generation, you must give them that respect to say, okay, fair enough. Their team isn't as good, they're still getting the same results.
Yeah, and in terms of key players, talking about the same people once again, mainly Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
But Wayne Rooney, as much as on his day, he's one of the best strikers out there.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to major tournaments, his record's pretty poor.
Yeah, definitely. Had a shocker at the last World Cup. He started swearing at the camera or whatever it was. It wasn't very pretty.
Yeah.
And then it's not. Yeah, it's with England. It's always the same. Not being able to having a wonderful squad, not being able to produce the goods. But
Exactly.
I don't know. Funny thing might happen this time. No one expects it, and they might do good. I don't
You
know.
never know. In terms of other players apart from Rooney, for me it's a combination of Sturridge and Sterling, who had a really good season.
Wonderful season for
with Liverpool.
Yeah.
They've really come of age as young players, and that combination which they've formed at Liverpool will be a big factor.
Definitely, and Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. He really does perform for the national team. It's unfortunate that Theo Walcott isn't there either, but certainly the golden generation's about to pass. But I think these younger players, particularly the four that we've mentioned, and Jack Wilshere as well. And I'm not just saying it because they play for Arsenal, but they are very, very good. They've got a lot of depth on the wing backs as well. When you think about guys like Kieran Gibbs and Ashley Cole not making it, Leighton Baines and Luke Shaw are actually the ones in the squad. So yeah, they've got talent, but it's a matter of whether or not they can gel and they can. It's a tough group. If it was an easier group, it'd be easier. But
Alright, so moving on to the final team of Group D, Italy, who are playing the 18th World Cup.
Rich history.
Which is true, won it 4 times. However, the last World Cup was an absolute disaster.
And Lippi was rightly shown the door. But since then,
What's happened since then?
Prandelli's come in, brought back their dignity in Euro 2012, went all the way to the final, even though he got spanked in the final, then he went all the way to the final. Confederations Cup again, pushed Spain again in the semi-final, but some say we're unlucky. Very good qualification campaign, consistency back, the dignity's back in the Italian colours. It was a massive shock that last World Cup. It just wasn't Italy, and now they're back, and watch out.
In terms of key players, once again, Andrea Pirlo is still going strong after all these years. This will surely be his last major tournament, but he's still in fine form with Juventus. And he's a guy who's going to pull the strings in midfield for Italy once again.
Daniel De Rossi as well.
De Rossi. Also, it remains to see which Mario Balotelli will turn up at this tournament.
I mean, it's just an explosive character. You don't know what you're going to get with him.
Yeah, but when he plays well, he's a great player.
He's wonderful. His goal in the Euros in the semi-finals is brilliant. He just the way he played, just ran over the Germans. So that's just one of his good points, and then there's the problem child side of Balotelli as well.
That's right, hell yeah, that's right. And the other thing about Italy is that just like Spain, they got a core group of players who play at the same club. Talking about Juventus here,
yes,
the recent champions. You got players Buffon, Chiellini, Bazzagli, Bonucci, Pirlo, Marchisio. They're all in the Juventus team, and they obviously know how to play together, and that's going to help a lot at major tournaments, especially World Cup. So that's going to be a big advantage for Italy, and I think that will help them. It will help them a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely very unlucky not to be seeded. I think they just were outside the seedings when the draw was made, and when you see the likes of Switzerland and Colombia being seeded and actually Italy not, it's not great. But look, in this group, I still think they can get out. So even though they're given a tough one, but while we're at it,
okay. So predictions: who do you think they get out?
Uruguay, Italy.
Uruguay, Italy, as in Uruguay first.
No, I'll say Italy first.
Yeah.
And I'll say Uruguay.
Under the same prediction.
Yeah.
Italy first, Uruguay second, England, Costa Rica to miss out.
Yeah. England I just don't see them getting the results against the two bigger teams.
Yep. I agree.
They've got a bit more firepower and unfortunately.
Alright, well that's our
early play on hand for England. Yep. So that's our predictions for Group D.
Thank you.